Alright, so no sooner did I post my first set of videos than I received my first critic pointing out the fact I sort of skipped over the user preferences section on Foglight. That's 90% because I don't use it and I felt it was unnecessary to train on, but apparently people are using it, so they wanted a video on there. So I thought I'd first start off with just coming over here to the right, clicking on themes, and switching to the monitoring theme. Give this a few seconds, and this can be a little easier on the eyes in some situations, some monitors, some lighting environments, perhaps maybe your displays in your knock or something like that. Very nice there. I'm going to put it back because I don't think that's good for videos. The second place you can go is right down here into configurations in the bottom left. You'll notice it's not in alphabetical order. It definitely won't be on your system, so just go ahead and remember that. We're going to go into user preferences. It's right here. Give that a click. And we have a series of user preference options. I'm going to get some real estate back here. We'll start with language. The only option available that I'm aware of is English, so we'll select that guy. And if a dashboard doesn't have an override, it will automatically reset to 5-minute intervals for refreshing. So you can change that here if that just doesn't work for you. If you want higher or lower, feel free. Time zone. Now, my company, with everything on server time, so we're all consistently speaking the exact same language, perhaps you have a particular reason for wanting to switch to a local time zone. Feel free to poke through, find your time zone, should figure it out from your web browser. Your default time range should be set right here. Personally, I think the last hour is a decent one. Last 4 hours gives a little scope. Totally up to you. Last hour will, of course, load faster because it's querying less data. Working module is good for when you create dashboards and things like that. Shouldn't be any reason to change that I'm aware of unless you create dashboards. Whole other tutorial we'll work through. I didn't notice this feature until today with the disable more. I'm on the fence about whether to disable this or not. A lot of times I do run into situations where you have to hit more, 30, maybe 40 times to scroll through agents. And it can take quite a few minutes. On the other hand, it's going to take longer to scroll through. Now, in case you're wondering what I'm talking about, there are lots of places in Foglight where you'll have drop-down windows similar to this one. You'll have to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. When you get to the bottom, it will just say more. Then you have to hit more again, then more again, then more again. As opposed to giving you a little bar in the right corner to scroll with. So, really up to you. Try it both ways, see which way works better for you. I'm going to go ahead and leave it on for this particular one. We can go ahead and switch our color for our reports. Or, of course, again, we have that theming that we saw earlier that we can control on the right. These should be pretty obvious in terms of your PDFs that you create. Temperatures. This is only if you bother to have any sort of metrics that use these. We're going to go into advanced. Now, if I was poking through, I really didn't see anything that anybody would actually use kind of regularly. The only thing I could possibly think was this one right here. Keep all visited dashboards in cache. I kind of played with that and I felt it was a little faster using that now. Could have been in my head, could have not been. I don't know. But it did seem a little bit faster, so I did set that in my tests. So I'm just going to hit save on that. And now my settings are perfect. I did try and find if I could apply these settings to users, but it doesn't appear you can. I was poking through, and for the life of me, I couldn't find a way to force these onto a user. If I end up finding a way, I'll go ahead and definitely post it in a future video. But for right now, there doesn't seem to be a way to create too many of these settings on users. See, we only had a couple options. So if I do find a more extensive way to do it, I'll definitely post it. For the time being, that's how you set your time zone, that's how you set your colors, that's how you're going to set your language when available, and that's going to be pretty much it. And I believe that one option right there is going to help speed up your dashboards just a tad. If you have any other questions, just hit me up. That's customizing your screens.